Hello everyone, welcome again to Open Source Study. So this is the part 3 of our drone programming series and I hope you are enjoying this series and learning something from it. So in this video, we will be covering about ground control station in detail. And I guess you all have been following this course from the first video. Otherwise, you may find a little bit difficult to understand. So I suggest you watch the other two parts before watching this video. So in this video, we are going to discuss about ground control stations and we are basically going to discuss four important things about them. The first one is what is the ground control station? The second one, what can you do with it? Third one, what are the available open source ground control station software on the internet for different platforms? And fourth, the last one, we will have a proper demonstration of ground control station working. So I guess this video will give you a proper understanding of ground control station. And before I start, I just want to tell you that some of you might be thinking, when are we going to start programming, right? We want programming. Actually, before going to the programming part directly, we should know what we are dealing with, right? And that's why it's very important to know about all of this in detail. And there may be some of you who are new to this drone and tech and they would really find it difficult to understand if I directly start the programming part without explaining the drone system. But guess what? We are almost done and we are soon going to start the programming stuff in the upcoming videos. So stay tuned and let's get started. The first is, what is ground control station? As I told you before, ground control station is a set of ground-based hardware and software that allow drone operators to communicate with and control a drone and its payload too. Yes, you can control your payload too with the help of ground control station. Basically, it can be a joystick alone or a computer or a tablet or a mobile. In the layman's term, the things which are on the ground or off-board station from the drone and through which you can control or monitor or communicate with the drone comes under the ground control station. As I told you about the drone system in the first video, and if you remember, ground control station is also one of the drone system and every drone system has hardware and software. But as you know, we are only interested in softwares, right? And that's what we are going to discuss. By the way, the hardware for ground control station can be your PC or mobile or tablet. Second, what can we do with it? Now, some of you who are not from a UAV background may be thinking, oh, how can we control drones with software, right? We need a joystick with a pilot who can send the command for throttle, pitch, roll, and yaw to fly the drone. But that is the interesting thing about ground control stations. You can simply connect your drone through telemetry to ground control station software and then easily monitor your drone with the help of GCS, like what's the battery level, what's your drone position, what is the height at which you are flying the drone, what's your drone altitude and in which direction your drone is heading, what is the speed, and I guess pretty much every variable. By the way, GCS is just the short form of ground control station. You can command your drone too with the help of ground control station, like power on, take off to a certain height, go to the particular location, planning a mission, and most importantly, you can even fly your drone autonomously with the help of ground control station. Seriously, ground control station systems are very powerful and amazing systems. Wait a minute, now you are thinking, what is the need of drone programming if we can fly the drone autonomously with the help of ground control station, right? I got you. See, I know you can fly your drone autonomously, but you can't create any application with the help of ground control station. Applications like Follow Me or Drone Delivery or any other application based on your requirement. There are limitations with ground control station. You can't just do anything you want, right? In the case of ground control station, it all depends on whether that ground control station is capable of doing it or not. And that's why we need to program our drone. And one more reason to programming is, just think about it. For flying a drone through ground control station, you need to open it, then connect it to your drone and then start the mission and blah blah blah. But on the other hand, you can simply write a program of 5-6 lines which will automatically do all of these things for you. Isn't it exciting? But you still need ground control station to monitor your drone, and that's why we need to see how it works. And for that, I will give you a proper demonstration of working of ground control station later in this video. The third one, what are the available open source ground control station on the internet? So there are at least 10 different ground control station softwares available on the internet for different platforms. Like on desktop, there is Mission Planner, which is only available for Windows. And by the way, that's my favorite ground control station software. The second one is APM Planner 2, which is available for Windows, Mac OS and Linux. The third is Mav Proxy, which is only available for Linux. And the fourth is Q Ground Control, which is available for Windows, Mac OS and Linux system, and also available for Android and iOS. And there is one more, which is UGCS, Universal Ground Control Station, which is available for Windows, Mac OS and Linux system. For tablet and smartphone, there are Tower, which is also known as Droid Planet 3, and second is Mav Pilot, and there is one more Andropilot, and I guess there is one more Side Pilot. Okay, let's come to the fourth part, which is a proper demonstration of GCS working. So just to give you all an idea how they work and look, I'm going to install one GCS software and show you how it works. You don't need to install anything now, because in the upcoming videos we are going to create a proper environment for drone programming, and where we will install all the necessary software. But if you want, you can install it and see how it works on your own. So I'm going to install Mission Planner for a quick demo. It is the ground control station software which is developed by ArduPilot, and it is only available for Windows system. And to download it, you can simply search on Google like Mission Planner download, and then download it, and then you can simply install it with the default setting. And why I'm using Mission Planner for this demo? Because I feel this is the most powerful open source ground control station software out there, and you will know why I think so by the end of this video. So let's switch to the system and see the quick demo. So this is how it looks when you open a Mission Planner for the first time. And don't be afraid of all this fancy thing. I will explain everything in detail, so just be with me. So let's get started. So as you can see, this window is basically a flight data window, and we will start from the top left corner from this display. Just double click on it and it will pop out, and then simply maximize it. This display is called a head-up display, or in short form HUD. It is generally used in aircraft and placed just in front of pilot's head, and it displays all the necessary data or information to a pilot, so he or she does not have to look out at the instrument to see the information or data they need to fly or control an aircraft. And because this display is placed in front of pilot's head, that is the reason it is named as head-up display. So let's talk about this in detail, and let's start from the bottom left corner. Here you can see this is airspeed and ground speed, and the units are in meter per second. So here's a quick question for this video. What is the difference between airspeed and ground speed? Write the answer in the comment section and get one step closer to win a free drone kit. Yeah, go and get it. And just above to this, you can see this is a airspeed indicator, and again here also units are in meter per second. Above to this is a turn rate indicator. It will show the turn rate of your drone. And above to this scale is called a heading indicator. It will show you in which direction your drone is moving to. So you can see north is at 0 degree, and this is northwest, and this is northeast. So just below to the heading indicator, this is a roll indicator, or you can call it as a bank angle indicator. Bank angle is just the technical term for roll angle. And just right side to this, you can see little red cross. This will basically tell you the telemetry connection link quality in percentage, and if it's 100%, that means your telemetry link is very good, and if it's 20% or less than 20%, That means you should not fly your drone farther away from that location. And just below to this, you can see this indicator. This is a altitude indicator, and this will tell you at which altitude your drone is flying. And again, you can see the units are in meter. Just below to this, you can see unknown is written in red, and this will display you the mode in which your drone is flying. Either is a takeoff mode or guided mode or return to launch, or there are so many modes. So this will show you in which mode your drone is flying. And just below this, you can see this 0 meter. It will display you the distance between your drone and the next waypoint. And this 0 will display you the current waypoint number. And just below to this, you can see GPS. Right now it's saying no GPS because there is no GPS module connected to the system right now. So once you connect any GPS module, it will show you the GPS name here. And just left side to this, you can see vibe is written. Just click on it. It is basically will tell you the vibration, the primary, secondary and tertiary vibration. And left side to this, EKF, this is a extended Kalman filter, and it will show you the status. You can check the status of extended Kalman filter, velocity, position, compass, terrain, all this status. And above EKF, you can see this scale. This scale will tell you your pitch angle, your drone pitch angle. And this is basically, this is a artificial horizon. This red line and green line is a artificial horizon indicator. And if you want to add more information to your head-up display, then simply double click on it and go to user item, and you can select the variable or parameter you want to see on your head-up display. I will select the time in air. You can change the name also, but I will let it be time in air. Just click OK and then close it. And now you can see it start appearing on my head-up display, time in air. You can also start the camera after linking the camera device, and how to link the camera device that we will see later in this video. So just be with me, and you can play with all these settings on your own. You can change the ground color, swap with map, you can change this head-up display into Russian head-up, and all of these interesting things you can do. I think this is enough about head-up display. So let's move to the next section. So just below to the head-up display, there is a quick section, and here you can see all the values you want to observe or know in numeric. And you can increase the size of this quick section by just right clicking on it and go to set view count, and then simply you can enter the number of columns you want to have. Okay, let's take 3 columns, and I want to have 3 rows too. So you can see one more row has been added, and you can simply double click on it and select the value you want. So I will go with the wind direction, and for this I will go with the wind velocity. And you can add as many values as you want to add in this quick section. Just simply increase the size of this quick section and then simply select the values. So let's move to the next section, which is action section. So this is very important section because from here we are going to control and fly our drone. These all are buttons. We can arm or disarm our drone. We can change the mode if you want. You can simply select any mode. There is a land, circle, RTL, and then simply set mode. It will change the mode of your drone. And you can launch the mission. Just go to here and select the mission and then simply do action. You can abort landing, you can restart the mission, you can set home altitude, and you can do a lot of other cool stuff. And how to do it, we will explore this section in the next video when I will give you the demonstration of planning a mission and flying or executing it. So let's move to the next section, that is pre-flight. So basically this is a checklist which you should check before flying the drone. And this is really a good habit to check this checklist before flying the drone. And right now you can see these values are showing in red. But once you connect your drone to this, it will turn into green. And if it's still in red, that means you have to check that particular thing. And let's move to the next section. This is gauges. And I think I should not waste my time to explain this. I think everyone knows what is this. Okay. So let's move to the next section, which is status. So this is again very important section, because from here you can check the values of all the parameters and variables. You can see there are hundreds of values are here, and you can simply check the status of any value if you want. and right now everything is showing 0 here also and in this head-up display also. And the reason is because we haven't connected our drone to this mission planner. Once we connect our drone, it will start fetching the values, the real values from our drone, and you can see all these 0 will change into numbers. So there are some other sections too, but they are not required right now, so we will simply skip all these sections. And let's move to the right side of this mission planner, and here you can see this is basically a Google hybrid map. You can simply zoom out and zoom in, and right now it is not showing my home location because, as I told you, I haven't connected any GPS module. But once you connect the GPS module or your drone, it will fetch your live location and it will exactly show you where you are in the map. So basically this full window is a flight data window, and let's move to the next window, which is flight plan window. So again, this is also very important window, and here you can plan your mission according to your purpose of flying, and you can also load the previous mission from here, and you can simply click on load and load the mission, and you can then read the mission and then simply go to the action section and then start the mission from there. We will explore this planning window in the next video in proper and full detail, so we will skip this for now. Let's move to the next window, which is setup window, and from here you can install the ArduPilot autopilot firmware into your hardware, and you can simply go to install firmware legacy, and what is the firmware here? ArduPilot autopilot firmware, because this is mission planner and it is developed by ArduPilot, so the firmware is also ArduPilot autopilot. And what is the hardware for it? Hardware is Pixel, and if you do not know, then please refer to the first video. I have explained all of this in detail. So you can simply connect your hardware to the system, and how you are going to connect your hardware, you can simply connect with the USB cable, and after connecting the hardware to the system, then you can simply click on this button connect, and then it will connect your hardware to the system, and then you can simply select the vehicle of your choice. Suppose you want to install the ArduPilot firmware, then you can simply select the vehicle, and it will ask you. Once you say yes, it will start installing the firmware into your hardware. And we will explore this section in the upcoming videos when I will give you the live demonstration how to connect your hardware and how to install it, and then how to fly the real drone through this mission planner. Right now this is just for the demonstration and knowledge. So let's move to the next section. This is a software configuration section. As the name suggests, from here you can change the configuration of this software, and as I told you, you can select the video device from here. Right now it is showing for me webcam because this is the only video device which is connected to my system. And you can connect your drone camera too, and then you can simply go to this flight data window, and then you can simply go to video and then start camera. So it will fetch the live video from your drone camera, and you can simply enjoy it. It will feel like you are sitting in the drone and flying it manually. You can explore this window on your own. This is basically just to change the configuration of the software. You can select the joystick setup, you can enable the speech, select the color and all of these things. Okay, so let's move to the next window. This is a simulation window. So this is again a very important window, and now you'll think, what's wrong with this guy? For everything is saying it's important, but what to do? As I mentioned earlier, this is a very powerful software and there are many things which you can do with it. So what exactly this simulation window is? Remember we talked about CITL, which is basically a software in the loop. And if you forget, then refer back to the first video. But for now, just think it as a flight dynamics model. And from this window, we can launch the CITL of these vehicles, which are visible here. And then it will automatically connect to the ground control station. And then your virtual drone is ready to fly. So this simulation basically helps you to simulate every possible situation you can think of before doing the actual flight. Just to give you an example, suppose if you want to know what will happen if you fly your drone in an upwind. Upwind means when air is moving in the opposite direction of your drone, then you can simply make a few changes in the CITL parameter and simulate that situation and see how your drone will behave in that situation. And like that, you can create your own situation and then see the behavior of your drone. This is basically a simulation. So, and it's always good and safe to test your drone after making some changes in the software. So that is the reason I said this is a very powerful window. We will see how to start the CTAL and connect it to ground control station and then plan a mission and then execute it and changing the parameters of CTAL and a lot more in the next video. So here's a pro tip for the viewers who have watched this video till here. And as you know, Mission Planner is an open source software. So it's very common that sometimes they just show an error from nowhere. And if you come up with any error in Mission Planner, generally it will show when you start the simulation. Even if you uninstall it and then install it again, that error will not go. So in that situation, just go to this help window and just check for the updates. And if it's not showing any update, then simply uninstall this version and then install the previous version and then update it from here. And then your error will definitely go. So this is basically a very pro tip which most of the people don't know. And here you can also find out the check shortcuts, and you can also read the information about Ardu plane, Ardu copter, Ardu rover. So that's it for this video. I hope you find it interesting, and thank you so much for your love and support. We are just about to hit 100 subscribers, and please support this initiative like this, and please hit that red button and subscribe to Open Source Study channel, and don't forget to give your valuable feedback in the comment section. So stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next video.